Good morning, everyone. We're continuing here in the words of the Beis Halevi in his expounding upon Sinas Chinam, and he informed us yesterday this idea that since that unfortunately the sin of Sinas Chinam is something that is not nisgali, it's not revealed, it is hidden, because unfortunately way too often a person harbors the Sinas Chinam inside of their heart, and they think that they are fully justified and they are correct and they are right to look down on another person, to hate another person, to think badly of another person, even to speak lashon hara about another person and condemn them and put them down in front of other people and publicly in messages and WhatsApps and Facebooks and all the different things that a person does on social media, which could destroy a person's reputation. When a person does that, they feel that I am right in what I'm doing. Otherwise, we have to assume that a Yid would not do such things. He would not knowingly go and destroy a person's life. He would not wantingly go and hurt another person. He's only doing it because he actually feels that inside of his heart of hearts, he is 1,000% justified in what he's doing. And that's the sin of Sinas Chinam. And that is why until this very day, 2,000 years after the Gullus from the second base of Migdash, we are wandering around in the four corners of the world trying to get ourselves back to Yerushalayim. We're not Yerushalayim that there is today, which is a chashav, an amazing place of Kedusha and Ruchnius and Torah and Tefillah, but to the Yerushalayim of a Beis HaMikdash. And therefore he writes, he's quoting a verse, and the pasuk says, these verses that we're quoting, Re'eh Hashem es ani, Hashem, see my misery, the enemy has made himself great. Who is the enemy that has made himself great against Klal Yisrael? Says the Beis Halevi, let me explain that to you. Peirush, what does it mean? Oyev hainu Yetzer HaRa v'umas ha'olam. The enemy of Klal Yisrael is the Yetzer HaRa, is the evil inclination, which tricks us, which confuses us, which convinces us that Sinas Chinam is the way to go. Harboring anger against another Jew, that is the proper way for a person to live in this world. Hating that person because of, what they did to me, what they did to my parents, what they did to this person. I've seen them behave before like this. I've seen what they do. I hear how they talk. Yes, says the Yetzer HaRa, hate that man. Hate that woman, hate that whole family, as a matter of fact. They should be hateful in your eyes. That's the wiles, and that is the trickery of the Yetzer HaRa. And the Yetzer HaRa has made himself great in this Gullus. Umas ha'olam, and the nations of the world, they too. Look at the world around us. It's a world that is seething with hatred. The Democrats hate the Republicans, and the Republicans hate the Democrats, and the liberals hate the non-liberals, and the conservatives hate. Everybody's in hatred, and this nation hates that nation, and this school hates that school, and this mode of therapy hates that mode of therapy, and the vegetarians hate the vegans, and the vegans hate the carnivores, and the carnivores hate the herbivores. Everybody hates each other. We live in a world, even the leaders of our countries and the leader of other countries, all they do is they spew forth anger, and they rant, and they rave, and they hate, and that becomes the examples that we're watching and that we're looking at. Says the Beis Halevi, Rachmana litzlan, oyev hainu Yetzer HaRa v'umas ha'olam. The enemies that have made themselves great in these generations of the Yetzer HaRa and the Umas Ha'olam, the nations of the world. Not only is it not enough that Klal Yisrael has not returned and repented and done tshuva throughout this long, arduous gullus that we find ourselves in, it's just the opposite of 2,000 years. Oid misrabe hasino. The sina, the hatred has increased, upirud halavavos, and the divisions of the hearts of Klal Yisrael continues to burn and churn on over the thousands of years of our gullus. It's worse than it was. Al yedei hagullus, through the exile of ha'oyev, and the enemy, that this enemy, the Yetzer HaRa, the Umas Ha'olam, the nations of the world, everybody around us, the media, social media, the newspapers, the news outlets, everything is just preaching Sinas Chinam, hate another person. You don't like the way that you look. We have a person running for president. He calls other people names. He puts them down. He makes fun of them. Like that's an adult, mature way for a person to live. That's the way for someone with respect for another Tzelem Elokim to treat another person. This is the ridiculous world that we live, but it seeps in. It goes in, and then we start making fun of other people ourselves. We start making fun of our spouses. We make fun of our children. We make fun of our friends. We make fun of the guy that sits next to me in shul who sniffs too much during the middle of Shemona Esrei, who bangs his belt buckle on the table in front of him and bothers me. We start making fun of people. We tease people. We have Sinas Chinam. Why? Because the Yetzer HaRa is mamish running around wild right now in the world. Everywhere that you look, there's hatred. And that Yetzer HaRa has captured the hearts of Klal Yisrael as well, and continues to work on us after all these years. And the Ummas Ha'olam, the nations of the world, they're not Balei Midas. These are not respectful individuals. These are not people to look up to and to admire and to engage ourselves in trying to emulate their ways. Chalila v'chas. And yet, because it's all around us, and we hear it, and we see it, and we watch it, and we know them, and we are influenced by them. So it has a negative impact on the way that our mind and our hearts work as well. And therefore we ourselves, our nation entrenched, Rachmana litzlan, we are entrenched in the sin of Sinas Chinam. In Yetzer Hashem, as we continue to learn these very penetrating and powerful words of the Beis HaLevi, we'll be able to remove ourselves from the pressures of the Yetzer HaRa and the Ummas Ha'olam, and will become the Yidden that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants us to be, who live not lives of Sinas Chinam, Chas v'Chalila, but rather lives of AHAVAS Chinam, loving our fellow Jews, Ve'afta l'reyecha kamecha, to love another Jew the way in which we love ourselves. Have a wonderful day.